to save your marriage or not to save your
To
marriage?
save or not to save? That is.
I'm not coming in and controlling my home. And today I want to talk about the 7 types of sex. Actually, in my course, I teach the 6 types. I teach it like the wives don't like the last 2. All you care about is sex. I'm Cass.
I'm Kathryn.
Welcome to the MorrowMarriage podcast. And I made a reel and a post that pissed people off. And it was on you can't control your partner. Today, I want to talk about your anchor in life. I want to talk today about the couch, i.e. you're sent to the couch or you go to the couch. That's a separation. I fucked up, and I'm going to tell you all about it.
We're MorrowMarriage.
Let's flip divorce statistics with the new marriage.
The question.
That is the question. Welcome to the MorrowMarriage podcast, guys. And of course, we are always talking about saving your marriage. However, today, this is not actually going to go where you think it's going to go. I say we saved our marriage from the depths of hell because our marriage was that bad. You know, if you don't know yet, the emotional abuse that I inflicted on Kathryn, especially the physical, the sexual assaults, the restraining order, 7 separations, countless, I always say hundreds of times sleeping on the couch, who knows? I mean, it was the most
He did that a lot.
Trashed the house, flipped her out of a bed. Guys, I was a bad, bad man. And so I say I saved our marriage from the depths of hell. However, I want to give you guys a different perspective. To save or not to save. You will never save your marriage if that's what you think you must do. If you think you must fix the issues, fix the problem. This will piggyback a little bit off of what we were talking about with the last episode, but I want you to understand you're not trying to save your marriage. If you can break this mindset, you will have a fighting chance. Here's why. This is not really talked about by any other program that I'm aware of. You're not trying to save or fix the past. You're trying to create the new marriage. If you notice, the title, MorrowMarriage, the podcast, is The New Marriage. If you notice, my book is Disrupting Divorce. We cannot save your marriage, but we can give you a new marriage. Why is this important? Because if you're spending all your time trying to fix the past, that's why I said I'll piggyback off the last episode, then you're never doing what it takes to move it to the future. If you're always worried or concerned about what you need to do, you know, I think we did a podcast on this recently where I said, you know, guys are constantly saying they ask their wife, I did this too, I'm not judging you much, but, you know, baby, what would work? What would change things for you? How can I make you happy again? You tell me, I'll fix it. Okay. None of that works. None of it. You have to learn how to do things right, how to stand up as the man, husband, father, leader in life. As a woman, you need to be powerful, strong, natural, loving, empathetic, edifying. There are so many things that are natural for both of you that you must just learn. It's not your fault if you have shitty role models. It's not your fault if you've been hurt by abusive partners. It's not your fault if you've slipped into addiction. It's not your fault. It's your fault if you do nothing about it.
Yeah, amen.
Okay? And right now, if you're listening to this podcast and you're going, like you're one of the, I don't know, I think I get like 150 DMs a day at least. If you're one of those guys going, I'm broke, blah, blah, blah. I can't afford this. I can't afford that. How much is your... Get up off your butt. How much fucking time are you wasting on Netflix? How much time are you drinking and doing nothing? How much time are you sleeping, playing video games? How many friends do you waste time with talking to? How many people do you listen to for validation about being broke, about being fat, about having a shitty relationship?
And then you make excuses about why you don't have the time to do a program. You don't have the energy to do a program. You don't have the money to do a program. But if you're doing all of these things, I once had a woman say to me, this was back when we did the nutrition coaching. So after we had lost the gym, we did online. So I worked with this lady in Alaska. And she did a testimonial video for me. And she said, you have the time. If you have 30 minutes to scroll on your phone at night, you have the time. The system works. And it can be something so simple. Even if you think about 30 minutes a day, if it comes to you being broke and you do 30 minutes of, I don't know, maybe you go mow lawns. I'm just spitballing here. But if you mow one lawn every day for the whole summer, how much money extra do you have that you're not spending on drinking and cigarettes or drugs or whatever it is your vice is? You actually put it aside to do something. You do have the time. That was 30 minutes that my client said. And I just said mowing a lawn. Maybe it's not mowing a lawn. Maybe it's, I know that everybody's too old for a paper route, but are you though? If you don't have the money and the time to do something, get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and deliver a paper.
Well, but I love this, babe, and I agree. But like, there are better, more efficient ways. Like, let's
pretend you don't have any skills.
No, but hold on.
Yeah, go for it.
Hold on. Take the time to learn. If you had taken any time before you DM me that question or talk about that money that way or worried about that, listen, you didn't take the time to investigate all my fucking free shit.
Like this podcast. We're probably yelling at the wrong people right now because they're on episode 145.
No, this person was listening to my podcast. So then why aren't you on my app getting the free program where I even use the example of some woman that I know who makes $350,000 minimum a month, $500,000 is an average month for her, selling 4 PDFs per month, you guys. You know what I did? I gave a free program so you can just get out of your comfort zone and learn how to do that.
Yeah.
And you know how many people did it? 200. Give me a break, man. I got 500,000 followers. 200? But the ones that are doing are winning right now. So you're doing things and you're constantly having to go back to fixing and saving your marriage. It's not a question of save or not to save your marriage. It's why are you not creating the new marriage, finding the time, the 30 minutes to learn some skills, whatever it is. Everything's fucking free on YouTube, by the way. You know, you can find so much of my content. Excuse me. I purposely give it because people are broke. My book's coming out. I do that because I want a $30 option for people.
Then there's no excuse.
There's no excuse. So you said it perfectly. Talk about that for a minute. Just
which part?
Making excuses.
I say a lot of perfect things.
You do.
Yeah, I do. Making excuses. So yeah, when people say I don't have time, the kids, I'll bring up another example. I worked with Jillian Michaels. Remember when I worked with Jillian Michaels? If you guys know Jillian Michaels,
Biggest Loser.
The Biggest Loser.
Yeah.
She was one of the hosts on there, fitness person. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a trainer and an influencer.
Fitness person.
She's a fitness person. She's a trainer and a person. She's a fitness influencer.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sometimes not good with words. I have a lot of them.
What?
I have a lot of them, but I just don't always use them. Anyway, when I worked with her, I said to her, what do you do for people or to people? What kind of conversation do you have when people say, I don't have the time? First thing she said was, people do it. People make the time. And then she broke it down. So this is how many hours you need to sleep. This is how many hours it's going to take you to prepare food. This is how many hours it's going to take for you to connect with your husband and kids. This is how many hours, this is how much time you have left. And you're not using it for anything. And this was, I don't have time to work out. Listen, I get it. We have 3 kids under 5. We have full-time jobs, businesses. I could say all day long, I don't have time. What it comes down to when you say I don't have time is I don't want to. Anytime I don't do something because I say I don't have time, I don't actually say that anymore. I actually say, no, I don't want to.
I think that is a beautiful lesson. I'm going to steal that right now.
Can I give a perfect example?
Yeah.
And this is why you guys need to be really transparent. So we have a bunch of people that work under us, and we have mentors and ambassadors. And we recently have had these 2 amazing, beautiful people that are handling part of the program. Mm-hmm. Well, they invited me to a meeting on Wednesday at a certain time. It went into my calendar. We had a lot of conversations about this thing that was going to happen on Wednesday. We talked about the meeting on Tuesday, which we were going to have, but I didn't get an invitation. Nobody put it into my calendar. Nobody actually confirmed it. And then 10 after the meeting time, someone said, hey, are you coming to the meeting? And I said, I made a mistake. I didn't know that it was actually happening because we didn't get it scheduled in, but no, I don't want to. I'm not going to BS and say I don't have time. I could have made the time if I wanted to. I was honest and I said I don't want to. The reason that I'm being transparent with you guys about that, not because I want you to go around and just say you don't want to everything, but I want you to really pick and choose. Do you have time to better your skills? You do. The answer is yes. If you don't want to, that is where the problem is. And that's where you're not going to save your marriage because you don't want to save your marriage. You don't have the energy because you don't want to make the energy to build a new marriage and create a new future for yourself. It has nothing to do with not having time. And you are allowed to say you don't want to, but you need to get really honest with yourself and honest with everybody else around you. Otherwise, it's sugar-coated BS.
You know what? You said, you shouldn't run around going, just saying to everybody, I don't want to. But I think that we should, in the spirit of who the heck we are, I give you a challenge today. Every time you're fighting with your spouse, why don't you just say, I don't want to do this?
Mhm.
Why don't you just say, I don't want to? I don't want to talk. Fill in the real blanks though. You know, instead of yelling, say, I don't want to talk like a human being and be respectful. I don't want to be grateful when you feel disrespected. Why don't you just tell the truth? Because I love where you're going with this. Why don't you just tell the truth and see how fucking far you get? Because you are responsible for your choices. You are. I don't care. Don't you dare spin this and twist Kathryn's words like a lot of you will and say something like, well, I want to, but they don't. Fuck that.
No, if you
shit.
want to, then you do it.
You
If you
do it.
want to, you make the time.
You
If you
do it.
want to, you expend the energy. If you want to, you prioritize this and deprioritize or unprioritize, whatever the word is. I told you I had a lot of words.
I actually am literally like, I get so many DMs now, even though we're not massive at this point. Okay. And I still, I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't want to work with men where I have to convince you. I literally tell guys, go listen to my podcast. Make sure you can trust me, not her, so that I can help you lead her. I'll lead you so you can lead her. Don't try to come to my calls. Waste my time if you don't know you want to work with me.
Yeah.
That's how serious I am about this, because I don't have time. There are billions of people on the planet, and there are people that want this now, the new marriage. So if you don't want to, don't waste my time, your spouse's time, Kathryn's time. Don't waste anybody's time. Because that's all you're doing. You're literally the people you vent with, going on Reddit, scrolling on social media. You don't want to. So let's change that. Go get your life, guys. All right. See you next time.
Bye.